My sister stole my millionaire fiance. 7 years later, she bragged she had it all. I just smiled and said, have you met my husband? My sister Jenna always wanted what I had. Growing up, if I got a new dress, she cried until mom bought her too. If I made the honor roll, she suddenly needed a tutor and extra attention. When I started dating Daniel, a software developer with a growing startup, she barely looked twice at him. He was just a nerdy guy in glasses back then. But the moment his company got acquired for $14 million, everything changed. Jenna started showing up at our apartment uninvited. She'd wear low-cut tops and laugh too loud at his jokes. I told myself I was being paranoid. She was my sister. 2 weeks before our wedding, I came home early from work with a migraine. I heard sounds from the bedroom. I pushed open the door and found them together. Jenna didn't even flinch. She just looked at me and said, he was never really yours. You just got to him first. Daniel couldn't meet my eyes. I'm sorry. It just happened. I packed a bag that night and left. My parents took Jenna's side. Mom said I must have done something wrong to push him away. Dad said Daniel was a good catch, and maybe Jenna deserved happiness too. They got married 3 months later in a destination wedding I wasn't invited to. I moved across the country with nothing but my savings and a junior position at a small architecture firm. For 7 years, I kept my head down. I worked late nights, took on projects nobody wanted, and slowly built a reputation. I met my husband Ryan at a construction site where I was overseeing a commercial project. He was the contractor, covered in dust, arguing with me about load-bearing walls. We fought for 3 months before he asked me to dinner. What Jenna didn't know was that Ryan's construction company had grown into one of the largest development firms on the West Coast. We kept our personal life quiet. No social media, no flashy announcements. We built a life together worth $47 million, and I never told a soul back home. Last month, my grandmother turned 90. I hadn't seen my family in 7 years, but Grandma Rose was the only one who called me after everything happened. She deserved to have me there. I flew in with Ryan. We checked into a hotel and drove to the party in a rental car. The moment I walked in, Jenna spotted me. She was wearing diamonds and holding a champagne glass, looking exactly like the woman who thought she'd won. She walked over immediately. Well, look who finally showed up. She looked me up and down. Still doing your little building drawings? Architecture, I said calmly. Right. She waved her hand. Daniel and I just got back from Bali. He surprised me with a new Porsche last month. We're thinking about buying a vacation home in Aspen. She paused, waiting for me to react. I didn't. What about you? Are you even seeing anyone? Mom said you've been alone all these years. That's when Ryan walked in from the bathroom. He came up behind me and put his hand on my waist. Everything okay? Jenna's eyes went wide. Ryan was tall, built, and wearing a watch worth more than Daniel's Porsche. Jenna, this is my husband, Ryan. She blinked. Husband? We've been married for 4 years. Ryan smiled politely and shook her hand. Nice to finally meet you. Jenna's face shifted. I watched her do the math, the watch, the confidence, the way he carried himself. What do you do? She asked, trying to sound casual. Real estate development, commercial mostly. We just finished a $200 million project downtown. The color drained from her face. Across the room, Daniel noticed us. He walked over, and the moment he saw Ryan, something flickered in his expression. Ryan Mitchell? Daniel's voice cracked. Daniel, good to see you. Ryan nodded. Wait, Jenna interrupted. You two know each other? Daniel swallowed hard. Ryan's company bought out 3 of our biggest competitors last year. He's kind of a big deal in the industry. Jenna turned to me with something I'd never seen on her face before. Fear. You married him? 4 years ago. Small ceremony. Mom appeared then. Sweetheart, who is this? Mom, this is Ryan, my husband. Mom's face went through 6 emotions in 3 seconds. You're married? Why didn't you tell us? You didn't ask. For 7 years, not one of you asked how I was doing. Not one phone call. You all decided I wasn't worth keeping around after Jenna got what she wanted. The silence was suffocating. Jenna tried to recover. We should get together sometime. Maybe dinner. The 4 of us. Ryan glanced at me. I shook my head. I don't think so. We're flying back tonight. We have a foundation gala this weekend. I walked over to Grandma Rose, hugged her tight, and handed her an envelope. Inside was a check for her medical bills and a photo from our wedding. I'm sorry I stayed away so long, I whispered. She squeezed my hand. You came back. That's all that matters. As we left, Jenna grabbed my arm. You can't just leave. I looked at her hand, then at her face. You told me Daniel was never really mine. Maybe you were right, but Ryan chose me when I had nothing. You chose a man for his money, and now you're realizing someone else built something bigger. I pulled my arm free. Enjoy the Porsche. We drove to the airport in silence. Ryan held my hand the whole way. You okay? Yeah, I said, meaning it. I really am. My phone buzzed the entire flight home. 34 missed calls from Mom, 28 from Jenna, a text from Daniel that just said, I made a mistake. I turned off my phone and leaned into Ryan's shoulder. Some people spend their whole lives chasing what others have. I spent 7 years building what nobody could take.